Well, hello there. Uh, it's a Sunday morning and there's people bustling around, so this video might be a bit noisy. I'm doing this for Ben Oldburys, James Hardy, David Throw, and, well, everybody else has been asking what's happening, because this project has been stalled out for weeks because I was waiting for parts. I had an issue with my multimeter. I still got an issue with my new multimeter, as you saw on, if anybody watched the little snippet that I put up. I've managed to work a way around that though, so I'm keeping a hold of that. I got a part refund on it as well, which is okay. These are Ben Oldburys cards. 3 ready to go just now, completed. There's a 4th one ready to go, and a 5th one ready to go as well. These were the 3 of you ready seen videos on. I think you'll remember this one, where most of the copper had gone up this top left corner, so I had to repair it with a fixed wire and solder bridges, whatever. That one's working fine. This one just needed a minor repair to the back, and there's one of them, which one it is, yeah, there's this one. It still has a slight bit of corrosion on it, but I'm going to leave that as it is at the minute because the car's completely working and it's been treated with vinegar, so it's not going to get any worse. It's just surface. I don't want to mess about with this much because you mess with these pads here, they can be an absolute nightmare to find and link because they go down to the card edge there. But the car's working absolutely beautifully. It's working fine. It needed 2 fixed wires there to reconnect a couple of address lines, but it's okay. These 3 have been tested in my Camelot machine and they're fine. This one here, no damage at all to that one. That one's still got the little solder blob there, repairing that ground trace there. That's literally just the ground pathway up to the PAL chip. Everything else is okay. I've added the battery leads to them. Now you'll notice that I don't have both battery terminals connected. Well, it's because you don't need to have. You need to have your positive battery lead going to the plus side battery terminal, or as close as you can get it. Basically, as close as you can to the right hand side of the fuse here. But the ground lead can go on any ground. And what I've done is I've put it on the biggest ground for the best connection, which is this trace here. This whole trace line going up here is the ground trace. It's the ground plane to the board. So, and you see it wraps right around. It goes around the crystal. It is the biggest ground plane on the board, so it's the ideal place to put the ground wire for the battery. It's not going to ever come off, and it's not going to come off anyway because I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue here. Basically, I've stuck the battery leads through the hole here at the top, and then they'll trail off down wherever you put the battery. I want to talk about batteries in a minute though, because there's a bit of a false logic about them. See, I've done the same here. Positive battery terminal. It's all been buzzed out, but it just never around. Not put any leads on this one yet. I'm tempted to say that you'd be as well just putting a new battery directly on the board for that. Do your solder masking first. Pierce these holes here back through with a pin, and then put the battery direct on, because a new battery, you'll get 5-6 years out of it. Right, you'll notice there, zoom in on it, you'll notice there, unmarked custom chip. Actually, I've got about 25 of those PAL CEs upstairs. I've got blank ones, and my programmer can do them, so I just burned a new chip for it. I've got the images for 603 and 616 upstairs. Thanks for Louis B for providing them. If anybody needs a copy of them, I can supply them to the Mecha in downloads. I've got 615 as well, and I've got a PAL to GAL program, so if I run out of the PAL Cs, I'll just put them on GAL 16 V8s instead. But that's been tested, that's running fine. And then this is the combo card. This is the one that was completely green across the top half surface there, and you see I've had to fix one trace, but only one trace. Every other trace is fine. I've got this one plugged in at the minute. Give it the obligatory 4 or 5 seconds. There we go. 5 seconds. Enough for it to say error 8.3 and then 0% key. Which is what it would be doing, and I'd be screaming about 0% key, because this board I'm using for testing would never have worked on a machine. It must have been one of the odd ones that's escaped production quality control. There have been a couple of them that I've had in the past. I've had one in the past where there was one lamp line permanently dead, and it was because a resistor was missing off the board, and it had been missing for the date of manufacture. This one doesn't seem to have a percent key fitted, so it's never going to work in a game. But the card's cycling fine. You see it flashing the status LED away. It'd be screaming an alarm at the minute if I put a sound card in. With this one, it was just a case of replacing the socket, replacing the PAL socket, and it's still got it. Believe it or not, it's still got its original 2 custom chips in, but they're working perfect. The capacitor there is the original one, but my meter says it's still 100 microfarads, so I'm going to leave that. Yeah, there was one other fault with it. I had to replace the 404 diode there. That seemed to have been killed. Maybe that was the original thing that killed the board. I will replace the HC04 here. I might just clean it up a bit with alcohol. A couple of little bits of green in the legs, but it's working beautifully. But it's maybe just a case of that surface corrosion, so I will clean the legs on it and see how we get on. But these 4 there, these ones here, and that one, they'll be going back to you Monday, hopefully, Ben. You should just drop in the machines when all you do is, I'll leave these unstripped, and whoever's putting your batteries on for you will just be a case of you put your 2.4 volt battery on there, and away you go. They're all working. I've checked with my meter that the battery positive gets to the diode, and then the diode gets to the RAM, so they'll all hold charge. They'll all be fine. Yeah, I got a new cutting mat as well. The A4 cutting mat that I had originally just wasn't doing it. I ended up having to get like placemats and stuff to put the iron on. But oh, say hi to the missus.
Hiya. Hiya.
No, I haven't drowned her. She's been for a bath. Don't worry.
No.
So yeah, that's it for this video here. There's not much I can show you apart from a flashing light. I'll maybe put the combo card and a couple of others back in the machine. But the machine at the minute, well, the plug's being used for something else. It's housework day, so the plug will be getting used for the Hoover, I'd imagine. But I will give it a test out later on. Right, I wanted to talk about batteries for a minute. There is a false logic on about it. It is a good idea on paper to fly load your batteries, to put them on long fly leads away from the board so the corrosion doesn't get to the board. Now, good idea on paper.
What?
What's that smell?
Something in the cupboard. It's not that. Don't worry. That gets cut up.
Is your potatoes going off? The wife's trying to salvage treats here to get potatoes. We've left them in too long.
No, I haven't. I just got them a day.
Anyways, yeah, enough banter. Right, so you put your batteries on fly leads, and then the rumour is you put your batteries away and fly off elsewhere in the cabinet and fly leads, and that protects your machine forever. Well, no. I think the likes of Steve Lancet and a couple others will agree with me on that that is entirely false logic, because there was a company that actually did that called Belfry Games. They did that with the black box machine. They put a battery board away elsewhere inside the black box processor. So like if you imagine this is the black box, you have a board there. I've had one of these before since we've been board there, and the batteries fly the way off in the corner. No, what happens is corrosion from a battery isn't just like gets eaten away like rust. It's a chemical reaction, and what will happen is the corrosion just travels down the wire and then explodes out underneath your solder mask and does its damage. So fly leading, although it gives you time, will not permanently protect your board from corrosion. What will happen is the corrosion will travel right down the wire, and then it'll just pop out. It'll pop out under your solder mask, and it'll devastate the copper under the mask. You'll know it's happening because you'll see a big bubble pattern appearing where your wire connects. Also, some people fly with the batteries and put the battery down by like the power supply stand. So, in my opinion, that you're kind of putting the battery somewhere where it can damage somewhere more vital. You know what I mean? Corrosion anywhere is not a good thing, but if you're putting corrosion next to your power supply or something like that, you could be doing more harm than good. So what I would say, if you are going to fly lead, keep the fly lead short. You put your battery and wrap it in some insulation tape. Just wrap it in some electrical tape, short fly, so it can't short out anything. Short fly lead. It'll have the same effect. It'll give you time, but it is not a permanent fix. So remember that you will still have to look after your batteries. You get about 5 to 6 years out of a good battery in good conditions, but if you've got it in a damp garage or you've got it in a cold house, it is still going to be prone to leak. But batteries are more prone to leak through temperature changes and environmental changes than just age. And 9H batteries, believe it or not, will do more damage than NiCads in the short term. In the long run, a NiCad battery will gas out across your whole board. But 9H, when it leaks, is a lot more destructive. It's a more focused type of corrosion. It will burn right through your traces. So, watch your batteries, folks. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'll just give you a little fly past. If anybody needs one of these doing, just let me know. I've got about 23 of these left. Give you a little fly past the work that's been done. That one was a miracle I got working. That's a perfect example of outgassing. That was probably that one there, and fly back to this one. That one there and that one there was the best of them. I've actually missed a wee bit of blue there, but I'll just scrape that off. These traces there look dark, but they are not corroded. It's just a little bit on the surface. I might take that off and just work on them under there. As I said, I'm more inclined to just leave this one because it's working perfectly. It worked perfectly the minute I changed this PAL chip. But anyways, there it is for the minute. And goodbye for now.